Hi everybody, Mike from RMT Family here. Today we're going to replace the cabin air filter in our Tesla Model 3. We had our Model 3 for a little over 2 years, put a little over 40,000 miles on, and I think it's probably time to replace the cabin air filters. I didn't check in the service manual what they recommend. That said, we drove a Honda Accord up this third road here for 8 years before we replaced the cabin filters on it, and well, they were pretty dirty, but I mean the system functioned fine and we did not have any smell from it. So here we're gonna replace them with the Tesla original filters. I decided to go with those mainly because they were cheaper than the aftermarket filters. The aftermarket filters are supposedly better because they're HEPA filters and have a charcoal part that is supposed to filter out any odors. That said, this charcoal filter may not filter out the only odor that we are concerned about here, because during our daily driving we don't really have any issues with odors from the outside coming in, except for one, and that is smell from a skunk. There's lots of skunks around here. We've been lucky so far. We actually never ran over a skunk with this car. We did it with a previous car and it stinks really bad for probably about 2 months or so. So we've been lucky, but there are skunks out here and we get that smell, but I don't think that this charcoal part actually would filter this smell out. So I didn't see any reason to spend like $5 to $10 more per filter. And so we just went for the Tesla original filters. So these here are the filters. There's 2 of them. One side looks like greenish, the other one is slightly grayish. They're Tesla originals, and they came just like this. They were not in a plastic bag or a cardboard box or anything. They were just thrown in a regular shipping box like this and sent to us, which shouldn't be an issue, I don't think, at all. So, and I looked up the instructions real quick on Tesla's website. Tesla actually on their website has instructions for you on how to replace these filters. I didn't see a video and just read through it real quick. Sounded relatively simple. It does require a Torx T20 screwdriver, and you may not have one because it's not necessarily a common thing. Usually people have a flathead or a Phillips type screwdriver at home, but this requires a T20. If you happened to purchase a wall connector from Tesla, the Tesla charger as many call it, you got a T20 bit with it. So you can see if you purchase this, if you still have that bit, then you actually have a T20 Torx that is needed to replace those filters. So well, all that said, let's go ahead and get into the passenger side and start replacing the 2 filters. So first, before we start getting in here and diving deep on the cabin air filters, we also have a video coming up about our experiences with this Model 3 for the past 2 years. It is a 2018 and we put about 40,000 miles on it, and we'll have a little review about the Model 3 and the experiences with Tesla during that time. So please make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss out on this upcoming video. So the cabin air filters are located in the passenger footwell behind here. So this requires us to get our floor mats out. By the way, these are great floor mats. We put a little review video up a couple months ago, and I'm gonna put a link here at the top. So go check this video out because they're really great floor mats. But for us to get started here, the first thing we have to do is pull the mats out. So our floor mats are secured with several clips around and a little bit of Velcro under there, but they come out real easy. So depending on your floor mats, that step is obviously different. All right, so I got a flashlight under here. Got this T20, which the bit came from Tesla's high-powered wall connector. That came with it. Got a flathead screwdriver, and I got some needle nose pliers that I may or may not need. Tesla recommends to use special tools for the push pins in here, which you can certainly get. I would have some at the shop, but I'm at home and I'm trying to do this with the tools that I have available here. So if I can do it here, you probably can do that at home as well with your own tools without having a full set of shop tools. If you want to buy the special tools for the push pins, you can get them really cheap for a couple dollars at Harbor Freight, and they'll last for a few times use at home just fine. You don't have to buy any expensive ones. But that said, I'm trying to do it just with the flathead screwdriver and the needle nose pliers. So we're going under here. So we need to remove this panel here first, and then second we gotta remove this panel here. So on this panel we do have push pins, like that one right there, and there's a little slot on the side, and you can get in with the flathead screwdriver, start prying this out, pull it down by hand usually, and wiggle the whole thing out. There is, if I can get the light over here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 total that I can see on this panel. It is pretty hard to film under here, so I'm gonna set the camera down, get those out, and then I'll show you how that looks like. All right, so I got these 4 push pins out, and then I was able to just pull it towards me, and it dropped down like that. So it's it's pushed in to these right here, these 2 little bracket thingies, and so you just push them off, pull them off, and it will drop down. And we got the light here and the speaker there. So the needle nose pliers come in handy when you can't pull one of these 2 pieces out with the screwdriver. When they're a little tougher, you get them out a little bit maybe, and then you can kind of push your needle nose pliers in there and grab them and just wiggle those out. So with a flathead screwdriver and needle nose pliers, you should be able to get those pins out. One of these in here was a little tricky and I needed the needle nose pliers to get it out. The other 3 just came out really easy by hand. So now we want to see if we can get this panel here out. Now that I have a little room up above, I can reach in there and just kind of pull on it and just work my way down the side here. Let me turn the camera a little bit. So let's go back this way. We're sticking in there somewhere. I'm gonna go look in here with the flashlight. There's a couple pins further down there that don't want to release. If I could get in on the bottom maybe, but I can't, so there we go. Just gotta reach down in there with the hand to push at the correct spot. So let's get this up and I can show you. Here we go. So there's all these push pins right here that we gotta pull out. There's these couple here that those are the ones that gave me a little trouble to pull, and we can see here the white clips are still in here, while with all the others the white clips actually came out with it. It doesn't matter, either way it will clip back in. We could probably pull those out, put them back on the panel. It should work either way to go back in, relatively easy. Okay, so we're down in here looking at basically the air box of your HVAC system. And we see this orange wire, or these 2 wires. Orange is always like high voltage. So you want to be careful with those wires. If you see that those wires are damaged at this point, hey, stop working on it. Go see your Tesla dealer. You don't want to touch anything damaged under here. If these wires are damaged, you could be exposed to high voltage. But for us, we just got to get those wires out of the way. We can see one clip right here. This just pulls off. There's another one up there that pulls off. And there's one further up there. Which, oops, with the camera in here, that becomes a little tough. So there's another one way up there. And I think I need the screwdriver here we push this off. So now this wire is completely loose and we can just move it out of the way. And then way up in there, let's see if I can get to this. So up there we see that one little screw. That's our T20 that we need to remove in order to remove the cover, which, let's see if I can get this all in place here, is this cover right here. So right there, this cover is what we need to pull out. So we need the screw at the top there with this Torx 20, and I don't think I can get in here with the camera, so I will have to put the camera down and then I'll get back to it as soon as I get the screw out. Alright, there's that little screw. So you want to try not to drop this thing, because you never know where it goes, if you can find it again or not. So we got it out, and now we can pull this cover off right there. And behind this cover now we can see the one air cleaner. So the bottom corner here is kind of cut there, so it looks like we have to lift that filter up a little in order to pull it out. So we'll tab at the top. Oh, there we go. Woo, there's a little dust falling there. Okay. Number one is out. So the green side is the clean side. And the grayish side is the dirty side. Let's get back here. So there's quite a bunch of stuff in there. It looks pretty dirty. I don't know if you can see that, hopefully. There's quite a bit of dirt in there. So what we can do, gonna get the car dirty real quick by just tapping it lightly. And you can see all this dirt here just fell out of this by just tapping it lightly. So I think it was needed to replace these two cabin air cleaners. There's another big fuzzy thing here. So there's plenty of dirt in there, which it all still functions, but with all the dirt in there, your airflow is restricted. And if moisture gets in there, which will, there's no way around it as air flows through, it may actually start to smell and you get some nasty odor possibly. All right, so we got to get the second filter out, which the tab is right here. So you pull it up, pull it out, and again, ooh, look at all the dust that's coming. Yep. Oh, there was even nasty dirt Whoa! Let's look at this one. Look how bad this one is. I mean, look at this. Obviously, it's desperately needed to replace this thing. Look at all this stuff coming out of here. Yes, 2 years here. Yes, you need to replace them. No doubt about it. Well, let's see if we can take a peek into that housing. So this is how it looks like in there, inside that housing. And now we have to install the 2 new air cleaners in there. So here we got our new cabin air filters. So we said the grayish side is the dirty side, clean is green. So clean will be facing to the inside and the gray will be facing to the outside. There's also an arrow on here pointing in the direction of airflow. So air coming from the outside, flowing in here, coming out this side to the inside. So the lower filter, we gotta make sure the tab here is towards the top. So let's see. Yep. Get this here a little better out of the way. It's a little tough to keep the light on it so you can actually see what I'm doing and the camera here and everything, but we'll get it in there. There we go. Slide it in. Hold on to the tab. Slide it in. There we go. And drop it down. Just like that. And that should drop down super easy. Okay. Now we're on the second one. Right here. Same deal. Let's get the tab of the lower filter down. Slide the top one in. Right there. Now we have both filters in there. So now we just need to get the cover back on and put the high power wires back in place. Put the cover on the center console back on and the cover underneath here. That's basically all there's to it. Well, gotta put the floor mat in. So let me see if we can get this here on, which the first part will be relatively easy. So to install this cover back on, we'll get these little 2 tabs. It just sit right in there. Then we push the top in, and now I need to get in there and put the screw in. So I got the screw there, like there's the hole. Get it started by hand. All right. Now I need the T20. It's Torx. Get back up there. So if you don't have to hold the camera, this becomes a lot easier. Okay, and just finger tight. Finger tight means just use your finger like this. Don't grip the screwdriver like that. Just like this. This is plastic, so once it sets, you feel it bottom out pretty hard. Just like this, and you're done. All right, that part's in. Now, we got that upper tab. And we have the lower tab here. Again, with the camera in hand, this becomes much more difficult. I got the last tab here. All right, now we got this wire back in place. So next step is putting this cover that goes here back on. Alright, it's a matter of kind of wiggling it into place. Then we gotta see that we can align all those pins. And just once they're aligned, you literally just go around with your fist and kind of tap on it. You don't have to hit really hard or anything. Just follow over with your flat hand or the back side and just make sure it feels like it's secured everywhere, and that's what that looks like. Now the last piece is getting this here back on, which again, we got little taps there. Gonna see if I can get this flashlight under here to see. So actually right there, that is one of those taps. So this piece here slides onto this tab, and then we got the same thing over here. We got this tab, and up there, that's where it slides onto. So just bring it in the right area. And again, I'm holding the flashlight here, trying to show this, but I guess I gotta put it down in order to push this on there properly. For some reason this side is not cooperating, it seems. Let's see here. Over here, I've been squeezing the wires. Let's make sure we get the wires out of the way. There we go, that one went, but I can't get this one. There we go. Okay. There we go. Got that part up there. So don't force it. This is a little tricky. Like I said, first I had the wires in there, so I got the wires out of the way. Now it went. It's a matter of wiggling it a little bit. Just don't force it. If you force it, something will break because it's basically all plastic. So now we need to put the push pins back in, the 4 of them. Let's see where we can start. Right here. So push the inner piece up, and then the other piece. I hope you can see this. It's kind of rectangular shaped. It's got a couple notches on it. Come back here. So they only fit in one way, as you can see here. So Gotta get that in there the right way. Cannot see it, so I turn it and I hope I can feel it pop in. There we go. Push it up. One down. Let's grab the next one. So here, if you can get them in like this, even easier. So we're going over here, push the inner part up, push the outer pin. Next one, going over here, inner piece, and in there. Last one here in the front. And push it in there. All right. Now we got everything under here back together. Need the flashlight so you can see it. But it's all back together the way it was supposed to go. So don't force things. Don't try to rush. The Tesla technician will be much faster at this because he's done it 1,000 times already. But you can do this by yourself. It's really not so hard to do. But take your time to do this. And so the last thing we got to do now is put our floor mat back in. And that is it. So really not too bad. Here we got the two old ones, and the lower one is really dirty. Obviously gravity has something to do with that, as the dirt will fall down lower into that blower housing, and so the lower filter collects more of this heavy dirt, while the upper filter gets still a lot of dust and smaller pieces. But yeah, so this was it. I hope you like this video. Please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. Click the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the other videos that we have coming up. We don't only have Tesla videos, we have other EV videos coming up. We also have many videos about our livestock and in general about life in Montana on a rural place like ours, if you want to call it a homestead, ranch, or farm. We got lots of interesting stuff for many different people. Maybe you'll see something new that you like. So please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the future videos. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.